Hey everyone, I'm Jeff Whelan, the host of the WB Download, and I want to invite you and welcome you to our podcast. My brother and I own and operate Whelan Builders. It's a custom home building company here in Southwest Ohio. The WB Download mostly focuses on interviewing folks associated with custom building. We stray now and then to interview people who I think are interesting and to break up the monotony of the same old podcast. I also like to highlight things that are going on in my everyday life along with our businesses. I started this podcast to help people understand the custom builder world, but to also give people a chance to hear what others have to say and highlight their expertise and experiences in life. We drop on the second and fourth Tuesday of each month with a new topic and or guest each time. I hope you join us here on the WB Download and enjoy listening and hearing stories of people in and out of the custom builder world. Welcome to the WB Download. Hey, everybody, it's Jeff Whelan here on the WB Download. Today is Tuesday, July 22nd, 2025. Man, welcome to summer. Thanks for listening. I want to tell you that the last week, my family and I spent at the Warren County Fair. And man, I'm telling you, what a week it was. And I think last year we did an entire episode on what went on and everything that we did with Cody and his steer from last year. This year, I could tell you that we are tired, we're proud, we're sad, and we're so happy. Each day up there, we had to move in on that Friday, moving equipment in. We moved our animals in around midnight on that Saturday night. And then every day since then, it seems like it's been a minimum of 20-hour day between work and between up there. And thank God for this crew that I have here at Whelan Builders, to where I could spend a lot of time up there with my family. But man, I'm telling you, we took 6 animals up there this year. Raina took 2 rabbits and a feeder calf, and Cody took 2 steers and a bred heifer. This is Raina's first time showing, and we went to a precursor the weekend before up to Clinton County so she could get some experience, and so could Cody. But man, she killed it. This girl is just unbelievable. She has a mode of concentration that's unreal. Her calf stood second to the grand champion feeder heifer calf in that whole deal. In her first showmanship class ever, she stood second, and I honestly think that she won it. And I'm not saying that about the judge or anything like that. There was, it's just some minor details that they picked apart, and I felt like she should have won it. But she struggled with a rabbit in the showmanship interview, but she still did a good job, man. I mean, just it's really cool to just see her just excel like that. So Cody's heifer stood second in second place, and she just did unbelievable. And the steers both took third place in their class. So Cody also won second place in his showmanship class, and again, I felt like he won it. I think the judge just had a difficult time because the 2 top people in Raina's class and Cody's class were so close that he started nitpicking and found something wrong with one and not the other or whatever. And I felt like that was like a lot of times with a couple animals that they had. So it was really tough competition up there. But man, they did so good. And it's just, they have these books that they have to fill out for record keeping all year long on all their animals. Talking about if they got sick, what they were feeding them, how much they weighed, doing daily rate of gain, talking about different nutrition values that we're putting in different things. And so this book is really, really long. It takes a lot of effort, a lot of time to fill out. And then they get interviewed on it, and they call it livestock interviews. So they went, I think I talked about this a while ago, but they went and did this a couple weeks ago, and then they get scored on it. And out of all of these kids in all these categories, Cody and Raina win both in their respective categories, second place in their cattle, and Raina won a 5th place in her rabbits first year. And that's just, I'm saying it like, not like, yeah, my kids are great. I'm telling you how much effort this is to put into this thing, to see them come out like this on top. I mean, it's just unbelievable. A lot of second places that we had, and I don't care. First, second, that's crazy with the incredible talent that's up there that we're showing against. And the other cool thing is that we've got a ton of ribbons, and the big thing that goes on in the cattle business is how much money people are spending on some of these animals. And the majority of the ribbons that we brought home, we didn't pay any money for these cattle. They're all cattle that we yanked out of the field out there at our farm. And we have one that we bought that's the actual show steer, and he's probably the one that did the worst out of them all. So that's pretty neat also to be able to see what's happening on our farm. But hey, on Saturday, then Cody sold his 2 steers on Saturday in the sale, and he takes all that money that he gets from that and puts it in his 529 plan, and just saves that money for college. So all of this stuff is a year in the making for all of these projects, and the reward is to work harder. Which is crazy, but it's our Wheeling legacy and motto is our family is just to continue to work harder. But man, just being at the sale, I did this in college, going running around sales and running around fairs and running around different shows, getting people's cattle ready. And now I'm 30 something years later and trying to get back into it. And my body doesn't move the same way as it used to, but nonetheless, I still enjoyed it. We got to meet so many new people and make some new friends, got to see a lot of old friends up there, and just I enjoyed every minute. I think my kids have really enjoyed it. And so we're grateful for this, to be able to do this stuff as a family. It's such a good conduit to teach your kids responsibility, hard work, marketing, competitiveness, sportsmanship, and discipline. So to say that Shannon and I are proud of them is an understatement. So meanwhile, back at Wheeling Builders, this little company that we have going on here, we began 2 more projects, and we're breaking ground on another job out in Goshen. And then we're tearing another house down over in Liberty Township. So, the one that the other one that we started out in Goshen, we're building for 2 brothers right next to each other in the neighborhood, in the Homerama neighborhood from last year. And so we've been working on those for a while, and now it's fun to get those started. But we began demolition, as I said, on a house over in Liberty Township, and we are in a design process with this customer, just putting the final details on their plans. But we wanted to get the house tore down because we had to have a vision on exactly where we're going to sit the new house, and that's going to be a project that everybody wants to watch online on our social media. So make sure you keep up to speed with us. So we also moved the family into. I want to say one more thing. Every time we demo a house, we use Auroric Wrecking, and Mike and Michelle Auroric. I've known them my whole life. And so when we get a chance to work together, there's no question about who does that job. And I always take pictures of the machine and send it to Mike and say, man, this is just so cool. Our parents are all both proud of us for being able to work together. So I think it's really fun to be able to do that. But we also completed another house over in Liberty Township in a neighborhood called Carriage Hill. And since Carriage Hill's inception in 2011 or 12, we've had a house going in there every year. And so it's been pretty neat. But these folks, we've been working with them for a long time. This house just turned out fabulous. I mean, anything they could do to it, they did to it, and it just turned out wonderful. So you're going to be able to see that on our website and on social media here real soon, and check it out. But man, those guys, it just. I mean, we get done with these projects, and it just makes it all worth it, because you're really hustling towards the end. Everybody's kind of stressed out, freaked out, and going back and forth. And when things finally come together, it makes it all worth it. But anywho, let's talk about our guest on today's show. And this is not doesn't have anything to do with building houses, but it is something to do with the world. Today we have Payton Obert and her mom Jess Obert on here, and Payton is a young philanthropist. From a very young age, she decided what she wanted to do, that she wanted to do good things. Ryan Murphy is a friend of mine who was on the WB Download earlier this year. And he's how I found out about Payton's Lemonade and Payton and what she does. She lives in his neighborhood. And today we're going to learn about, we're going to learn what they do, but just to spark your interest to continue to listen to this, Payton is 13 years old. She's been doing this for 6 or 7 years now. And she has a lemonade stand that raises over $125,000 a year. And she takes all that money and she gives it away. And she started this thing in the very beginning and said, man, she was in the hospital and when you're in the hospital for overnight or extended period of time, they have people that come by and try and make you feel better about being there, and they give you gifts and things. And she got a bear, and she never forgot it. So she thought, man, how can I make sure that this happens to another kid that's in the hospital? So she goes back, puts a lemonade stand together, raises money, gives it down, and goes out and buys a bunch of stuff, takes it down there and gives it to the kids. And this thing has grown from there. So, I loved every minute of this conversation. I love this story. And that it just a good heart in the making here. Her mom and their family is just the same as she is, just good-hearted people. And Raina Whelan sat in on this one with us because she was so inspired and so excited to come to work that day with me so she could meet Payton and find out what's going on. So without further ado, I hope everybody listens to this. Hope everybody gets inspired. And I hope you visit a Payton lemonade stand coming up here at the end of July. So without further ado, it's Payton and Jess Obert here on the W Download. Welcome to the show. Hey, everybody, today on the show, like I said, we have Payton Obert, and we have our mom, Jess, with us, and we also have Raina Whelan in the podcast room with us. She's saying, no, don't talk to me. So thank you guys for being here, man. I'm so excited to have you guys here because just talking about building houses all the time is kind of boring. So let's talk about something really, really cool. Payton, you have what you call is Payton's lemonade stand. Is that right?
Yep.
So let's talk about this because I want to make sure that we need to pretend like nobody's ever heard of you, because I know millions of people have heard of you before, but we need to pretend like nobody's ever heard of you. So let's understand the fact that you're 13 years old.
Yep, I
right.
sure am.
And you're killing it, and you're an entrepreneur. Let's talk about this, man. What got you started in the lemonade business, and what do you do? Where'd you come from? How did you just get to be so slick and smart like this? You think it's in the genes? You think it's from?
She gets Not really.
You get it from your mom?
So it started, I saw my neighbors doing a lemonade stand when I was 6 years old, and I didn't know what that was. So I asked my mom lots and lots of questions, and I put it on my summer bucket list. And then when the time came, my parents challenged me to donate the proceeds instead of keep it all for myself.
Oh, nice.
And I thought back to when I was like 1.5, 2 years old, and I had an overnight stay in the hospital, and I was gifted this really special teddy bear that I named Teddy. That just helped me through that scary time. So I wasn't like afraid. Like there's pictures of me and I was like snuggling it, and I had stickers all over it, like my princess stickers I put all over it. And it was just like a source of comfort that helped me.
Nice.
And I wanted to give that to others.
It's amazing. I mean, when you have good parents, then I mean, just thoughtful parents, that it gives you such a direction that you have there. So, Mom, what's it like to jump into this? And I mean, is it just a good heart? I mean, were you just kind of be like, hey, you know what, you should just do this and see how it works out? Or I mean, where'd you guys get the notion to start this?
Well, I should back up her story a little bit and say that the lemonade stand that our neighbors were hosting, they were raising money to buy new Air Jordans.
Oh, okay.
So
right.
I didn't want her to want to host a lemonade stand thinking that she was going to keep that money.
Sure.
And so that's why her father and I had challenged her. You know, we said, sure, you can host a lemonade stand, but we're going to challenge you to donate the proceeds.
Man.
And, you know, at the time I had worked at Children's Hospital.
Okay.
And so that was something that Payton was very familiar with. I would take her up there around the holidays, and we would see the trees, and we would take the tags off of the trees and go buy toys and bring them back to the hospital. And then, as she mentioned, she had been a patient there and received a teddy bear. And so when we challenged her to donate the proceeds, it was obvious that, you know, that was going to be what she thought about was her time at the hospital through the years and what those patients go through and what she went through.
Yeah.
And so she thought back to getting that special bear and wanted to then take the proceeds from her stand and provide, those comfort items to kids at the hospital.
And I mean, your own experiences get you to this point to be able to see this. I've known people through the years who do that, spend some time in the hospitals, whether it's adults or kids, and especially around the holidays, and talking to them. And people are like, oh, you want to make time for that. It's not a matter of making a time for that. It's a matter of making yourself tough enough to go down there and do that, because that's really, really difficult on yourself emotionally. And you can see the difficulty on them. So I'm glad you did that, to take your thoughts. You're 6 years old. You go out. It looks like your dad helped you build this stand.
Yeah, we're feeling the pressure.
We refer to it as the OG.
The OG.
Yeah, the OG stand.
That's the old guy's stand, right? Okay. All right. I'm just making sure it's wise guys. And so that first year you rake in $768. Is that right?
Yes.
I mean, what are you doing? Pumping it out of a truck? I mean, $768. This is crazy. That's a lot of money.
Thank you.
Just in your neighborhood.
Yeah. So
And we're a small neighborhood.
Yeah.
yeah. I think my mom posted about it maybe. I just had lots of neighbors that came down, and it was a hot summer day, which really helped. And it was like right after my school's, like, they have like this cheer and football day, or like this 2-day camp. And it was like right at the time when that was ending. So, and all my neighbors did like football or cheer at the time. So they were all coming home hot and sweaty. They got some lemonade, and it just kind of started coming in.
Yeah. And I think it helps probably too that you guys live up on top of a big hill, don't you? I mean, doesn't it take it takes a minute to get up there.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's just a given. Like when you get up to the top of the hill, whether you driving or walking, you're thirsty when you get up there. Yeah. So you look at this and you're like, all right, I'm gonna go out and start a lemonade stand. Your parents have challenged you to donate the money. Were you sad? Were you like, yeah, money's not a thing, or how did you look at it?
I didn't really understand the concept of money, so I was fine with it. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I like my teddy bear. I want to give other kids that. Let's do that.
Yeah. Do you understand the concept of money now?
I think so. And really, Payton, she's always been an old soul.
Yeah.
And she's always just been very empathetic. And, somebody who has big feelings herself, but also, can feel what other people are feeling.
Yeah.
And she's always been that way. So people who truly know her weren't shocked to see her doing something like that in her driveway.
Do you still have the teddy bear?
Yes.
Do you? Mm-hmm. I spent some time in the hospital when I was a little kid, and I remember people coming through and handing you toys or gifts or something like that. Anything you could do to make that whatever's going on in that hospital to make you feel better. And that's amazing that you've been able to do that. So you, did you think at that point in time, you're like, I'm going to do this again next year. I'm going to do this. I'm going to make it bigger. Or were you just like, next year you were kind of like, oh, maybe I'll go out and do it again.
So I thought that, but my parents didn't. We went out to Target and we bought a bunch of toys to give to Children's Hospital. And on the way home from Target, my mom was thinking, oh, that was a lovely experience. Maybe I hope she learned from that. And then I say in like the little back seat, I can't wait to do it again next year.
Yeah, I remember driving home thinking that. And she did. She was sitting in her little booster seat and she says, I can't wait to do it again next summer, Mom. And I remember selfishly saying to my husband when I got home, like, look, just don't talk about it. Like, just don't mention it.
We don't want to do it again.
Because, it really blew up into something that we were not prepared for. I joke saying that we thought she would maybe bring in $50 and 30 of it would probably be from Mom and Dad.
Yeah.
So to see almost $800 come through her hands that afternoon at her lemonade stand was just wild to us.
Sitting in a shoebox in my parents' room.
We're probably going to get into this, but I thought I heard you say earlier that it's free, that the lemonade is free. So you're just relying on donations as the people come up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So when people come up and they're like, oh, how much is lemonade? We're like, it's free, but we accept donations. And they're like, oh, okay, well, then take this $5. And it's like
hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah. Like, it's weird saying this, but like we bring in more money than if we were selling it.
Sure you do.
Like once people realize it's for a good cause, they're like, oh, well, then I have to give money.
I wonder if we can do that building houses. If I could just say, here's your house. It doesn't cost anything, but I think you should give me a recommended donation.
Why don't you trial that with us?
I will. Let's do it. I don't think it's going to work out good. So the next year you go for it'll work out good for you guys. Yeah, let's do it. So the next year, and I don't have this in my notes, but the next year you go into 2019. Was it $7,000 that you did? So you went from $768 to $7,000. Where, and this is still one stand in your neighborhood.
Yes.
And so the neighbors are coming over. Are they telling their friends? They're bringing truckloads, busloads, retirement homes, or what?
The second year we made 200 flyers where we put my face on them.
Key.
We put my face on them. We just put, hey, I'm hosting a lemonade stand this day, this time. Come get some lemonade. And like the proceeds go to Children's Hospital. And it worked.
She was determined to make it bigger.
Man.
Her second year. Well, clearly she didn't forget about it.
Yeah.
She wanted to do it again. She was determined to make this an annual thing. And so she wanted an even bigger crowd. So she did. She made flyers and she went around the neighborhood and put them in everybody's mailboxes. And I might have put it on social media that year. Again, we weren't really even sure what we were getting into at that point. So, but yeah, $7,000.
And it's one day.
A few hours.
Really?
Like, it might not have been 3 hours then, but now we just do 3 hours.
I mean, I know there's child labor laws and everything like that, but I mean, I think we got a position for you here at Wheeling Builders. You're making $7,000 an hour.
We're all going to be working for Payton one day.
No.
Running for president of the United States.
I don't think you want to do that.
You're right, I don't.
That's great. So let's roll into 2020. Now we're in COVID, and I remember being in COVID, and I remember my kids getting on the bus, and there's kids like with their heads up against the window, and they have masks on, and I think this is a moment in history where like it should be a black and white picture, you know, and we're just from the old school. It was horrible, but you go out and you roll out $30,000. Is that right?
So this year it wasn't just me. There was 8 other stands, so 9 stands total. And we had like little lemon masks that were made, so we gave those out when we gave out all the kits. For my stand, we put plexiglass on it, so there was like a little cutout at the bottom I could hand people lemonade through. We had little lemons that we handed out to all the hosts, and they were like laminated lemons, and you would place them 6 feet apart on your driveway, and people would like stand behind the lemons. Yeah. So we did everything. We spread out a bunch of tents outside, and it helped that it wasn't an indoor lemonade stand.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
It was
How did it work when you got other people? Did you recruit other people, or did you have other people come up to you saying, hey, we want to do the same thing?
Yeah, they came up to us and they were like, hey, what you're doing is really cool, and we see you already have a lot of volunteers. Do you think we could host a stand?
So you take that as, this is awesome, let's go do it? Or do you take that as, man, I don't want these people copying my stuff?
That's a mom question.
No, not at all. So after the $7,000, after the second year, that's when she really hit the airwaves. So that's when the radio was calling, the news was calling. So that's how, our following grew.
Yeah.
So when we're coming into the summer of 2020, we had a much bigger following, and we started to hear from friends and family who were saying, this is really cool. Like, how do we get involved? How do we get our kids involved in giving back to their community? And, we want them to experience the joy of giving back. And so for us, it was a no-brainer. I mean, we knew we couldn't have just one big giant stand with 300 people. So we thought, well, we say franchise. It's not really franchising, but let's franchise the stand. And so, we had 9 kids hosting their own stand on the same day. It's the last Saturday in July. It was pretty much west side of Cincinnati in northern Kentucky. And in 3 hours, they raised over $35,000. And that's in the middle of a pandemic. People weren't leaving their homes.
People were sick of being stuck inside, and they wanted to get some lemonade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are these strangers, or they're people I mean, I guess I don't know. I'm starting to realize how much trust issues I have sitting here talking to you.
That was a little bit of both.
Mostly friends.
I like to think of it as like, I look forward to it every year because it's like one big chosen family, like reunion. Like, I have my old teachers that come. I have my like first friends that come, like adult friends that I met when I was like a baby. Just different people that I've met throughout the years that all come to my house on the same day to get lemonade, and I get to talk with them for a little bit.
That is so cool.
Babysitters.
Man, that's amazing. Well, so I mean, there's this whole other part that comes along with this stuff, and I talk to people all the time about what it takes to run the business. So you're raising this money. This is fantastic. You're going out and spending the money. That's fantastic. But there's a whole other part of it where you have to keep it honest. You have to keep it in the bank account. You have to. I mean, you have to start thinking about, are you going to get taxed on this? Are you going to be able to, how do people know what you're doing with the donations and all these things? What does that whole part of it look like? Yeah.
So, and this is really a good time to bring that up, because that's when I remember looking at my husband and we're like, $35,000 on our kitchen table. Like, we have to figure out a way to be, transparent with the donors, and we have to probably make this a legit thing, because it was not showing any signs of slowing down. I mean, ABC News was calling, NBC News was calling, like it was crazy. And so we actually had talked to our mentor, who was the CEO of Matthew 25 Ministries, or who is Tim Meddy. And we were kind of at a crossroads where I'm doing 2 full-time jobs. I'm working at the hospital full-time, and I'm running this lemonade thing full-time. And we had to figure out what we were going to do. Well, we decided to go the route of, making this a 501c3,
going legit,
a charitable organization. And I left Children's. I thought I would retire from there. It was the scariest jump I've ever had to make, but I can tell you, we've never looked back.
Yeah.
And it has just continued to grow. And yes, it was a big learning curve for us, just as far as like applying to become a 501c3 and getting your board of directors and your bylaws, and we're still learning so much, but we are so fortunate to have formed so many great friendships with people in the nonprofit world who were more than happy to, extend their knowledge and their resources to really help us to grow and to avoid, pitfalls that may be typical for new nonprofits to fall into. So,
well, even old ones, I think that when you get something going, you get a volunteer organization going, and you've got a direction, and then somebody doesn't like that direction, and then they want to start complaining about it, and it starts breaking things up, and you're like, all right, this isn't what we signed on for. Another question I had while you were talking is, how do you decide what you're going to buy? I can see where you're like, all right, we're going to take some gifts down there, and you did it for a certain amount of money, but now you've got $35,000. I could see you going through 1,000 and being like, we're good.
Yeah.
What are we going to spend? What are we going to buy for $35,000? Go buy a camper and take these kids on a trip or something.
So for the first year, we just used all the money. Target found out what we were doing. They gave us 25% off everything, so that made the money go further. But we just spent all the money on the toys, and we went off of a wish list that Children's Hospital gave us.
Yeah.
And same with the second year, except it's a little harder to spend $7,000 at Target. So we bought a bunch of toys, but then we also gave Children's a check.
Oh, good.
And then the third year, I think we just gave them a check. Yeah, we just gave them a check.
Yeah, we would just turn them all of it just right over to them in the form of a check.
So what are they doing with it?
So that goes to their child life department.
Okay.
So that is like play therapy. Those are the people who work in the playrooms, the activity centers, who provide that therapeutic support at the bedside. They're the people who gifted her the teddy bear when she was in there. So
I remember when I was little, we were walking around like the hospital, and I remember we were going to talk to somebody. I forget who. But I looked in this window, and there's this like woman in there playing with like this little girl that was hooked up to all these machines, and they had like this plastic little picnic basket set, and like when they walked in, her just face just like lit up, and it was the cutest thing.
Man,
but it was also at this point that when we became the 501c3 charitable organization, we broadened our mission. So we realized that there were so many more kids in this region that could benefit from our support. So when we became a nonprofit, our mission was to help sweeten the lives of kids facing medical, personal, and economic hardships. So we are going beyond the walls of Cincinnati Children's Hospital. We're helping kids experiencing homelessness. We're helping kids in the foster care system. We're helping kids in underfunded schools. We send kids on field trips. And so there's so much more that we are now able to do. It started with Toys in the Hospital, but it has grown to include, I think last year we gave to over 38 local organizations. So that's also been really neat to see. The impact that, one little lemonade stand has made thus far. And that's just 3 years into it.
Right. I mean, how much of this Payton, do you say, this is what I want to do? Or how much is where other people are coming up going, hey, this is what you should do? And are you open to listening to other ideas? And how does this work?
It's a little bit of both. So I just have I've grown a passion for it. I love doing it. But then people come with ideas. So we switch it up every year. We do something new. This year we're having a balloon artist come to our stand and just different things like that.
Do you shut people down a lot? Do you have to say, no, we're not going to do that? I spent a lot of time doing that. No, we're not going to do that.
No.
She leaves that to Mom.
Right. Oh, that's a great idea. Mom, take this one.
Yeah.
That's the best
Let
way.
me ask my mom.
Oh, I love that idea. Mom, come here.
I've got an ex-hero trim carpenter that does that. When he doesn't show up on a job, I call him and say, where are you at? And he goes, oh, I got to talk to my dad. Hold on. That means you're lying. So, I mean, that's really cool to think about these people and everybody coming up. The Savannah Bananas were just in town, and I don't know if you went to that game or not, but it was really super entertainment.
Yeah.
But one of the things that somebody had told me that they were listening to a podcast on one of the owners and said that they everybody that's on their board has to bring at least 3 ideas to every meeting of things that they're going to do during the game. And it's got to be whacked out crazy stuff, or whatever it is. What they're really looking for is a database, So we haven't done this yet. Let's go back and look at the database. Or you can look at the database and go, we're never going to do that. We're never going to do this, but we got to do this.
Yeah.
I think that is so important. Like you said, hey, we're still learning. Man, I've been doing this business for 28 years full time, and I learn something new every minute. And I feel like if somebody ever sat there and said, I'm good, I've got it down pat, I'm good, then you're done. You should move on. So you've always got to be open to listening to other people's suggestions, ideas, even if they suck. You gotta be like, let me talk to my mom.
It could be the start of a good idea. Any bad idea could be the start of a new
100%.
idea. Take 3 of those words and make a new idea.
Yeah. Our slogan when we go to work, we think of you coming home. I got that from Sanford and Son at midnight one night watching it.
I like that. I saw that up on your wall.
It was like the old Red Fox said something like, when you think about trash, don't think about us, or something. And that's how I got it. So even bad ideas can turn into good ideas. So you've got, did you have something to say?
Yeah. Well, I wanted to mention that also a lot happened in this 2020 year, but we had our first sponsorship.
Really?
And that was really cool how that happened. It was Dwyer Insurance.
I saw that on there.
Yeah. And he lived in our neighborhood, Dan, the gentleman who started it. And he came home from Florida and saw a little flyer in his mailbox for her stand and realized he had missed it by just a couple hours. So he wrote a check and he came up and he knocked on our door as we're sitting in the kitchen counting money. And he said,
Sounds so good.
He introduced himself and he said how sorry he was that he missed the stand, and he handed us a $100 check. And you don't expect that at a lemonade stand. Yeah. And we got to chatting, and a couple of days later I saw him and I said, Dan, you'll never believe this, but we made, told him how much we made. I think that was the second year. And he said, Jess, I'd love to sponsor the lemonade stand next year. And I remember thinking, this guy has lost his mind. Sponsorships.
You're nuts, but we'll take
it. Like, okay. And I went home thinking like, oh, what am I getting myself into? Like sponsorships? Well, here we are. I think this year we've got like over 20 easy corporate sponsorships, all involved in this lemonade stand.
I'm concerned that your neighborhood has so many insurance agents in it. I mean, this has got to be I got to love going down there for Halloween. That would be fun, wouldn't it? So you, I mean, the sponsorships and everything you have going on. So you go from that single stand to now you have over 90. Is that right?
We have over 100 this year.
Over 100 this year in 2025. 100 stands across Southwest Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana.
Well, we have one in New Mexico.
Oh, really?
We have one in Georgia. We have one in Cleveland and one in Columbus. And then the majority are literally all parts of Cincinnati. It started out heavy on the west side, but now it's definitely branched out to north, east, south, and then northern Kentucky, and then Indiana as well.
Never eat soggy waffles.
What?
North, east, south, west. Never eat soggy waffles.
Isn't that a song? That's a song that's way older than you are.
Yeah, no idea. That's just how I remember northwest, south, east.
You still don't know.
I still think you need some practice at this deal. I'm not sure. So if you get somebody, I mean, you're not just taking people off the street. I mean, hey, we want to put a lemonade stand up, and you got to kind of be careful with this, right? I mean, because you don't want to ruin your brand and your name. You don't want just anybody out there thinking they've given money to Payton's Lemonade and they didn't. You know, I mean, how do you control that kind of stuff, or do you even think that evil of the world like I do?
I mean,
again, I've got these trust issues. I don't know what's going on.
You're making me
I think you need a bouncer is what you need. You need some security is what you need. You're sitting at your table counting out hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash while people are coming up and just giving you more cash. I mean, this is some real Soprano stuff you got going on here. Are you even selling lemonade, or is it just, what is it?
We're giving away lemonade.
You're giving it away. Even better.
It is legit. We we have attorneys that we work with and accountants that we work with, and we have bank accounts and things like that. But yeah, I think we've never recruited anybody.
Yeah.
They all have reached out to us. She does a lot of speaking engagements, so she'll get people who have, sat and listened to her. We've got a lot of just, my friend on the West Side hosts. We'd like to have one in Mason, and it's gotten a lot of coverage on the news and the radio every year. So
we also meet people. Like the reason we got our New Mexico stand is because we were at a Bengals tailgate hosting a lemonade stand, and we were just started talking with this one family. And they really liked it, and they said they lived out in New Mexico and they would like to host.
Yeah.
And we shipped out their kit yesterday.
Yeah. No kidding.
So
it's got to be that one day, right? I mean, can you do it randomly?
It have to be
it's preferred.
Out of the 90% of them will all be July 26th, that last Saturday in July. But occasionally there are people who, maybe they're on vacation or they have a wedding or something and they need to do it another day, and that's fine. It's just we can't be throwing out all the dates because then you just confuse the public.
Yeah.
But honestly, they're all year round. But for our big 8th annual Payton's Lemonade Stand, yes, the majority will happen on that one day.
I think about that because our kids are in 4-H and our fair is next week. Yeah. And the 4-H kids are required to go work the lemonade stand at Warren County because we have it's a real deal. I mean, it's no Payton's, but I mean it's a real deal. And I'm just wondering if I could work out a way, and I don't want to say it because I don't know the people up there yet, but I mean, if we could work out a way to take a day's proceeds from that lemonade stand and donate it to you guys, that would be awesome. So I'll work on that. That was just a thought that came to my mind.
And what's really cool too is if you follow us on Facebook, we tell a lot of stories about the kids and the organizations that we help. And so I think it's really sometimes the hosts will have an idea of where they might want the money to go to. And so I think that even motivates them to, work harder at their stand. And then, we're able to kind of help them get that money into, the hands of kids and families who need it.
There's some people that we help that we've met through helping them, and then through talking to them, we help them get through what they're going through by providing toys and gift cards so they can buy food and stuff. And then they end up wanting to host a stand, and they get inspired to host a stand, and then they'll come to us and they'll be like, hey, with the money we raised, do you think it could go back to whatever program that they were going through to help them through what they were going through?
Mm-hmm. Nice.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So you're famous, right? And so, do you get a lot of people that, do you feel that, you're so normal, and do you have a lot of people come up to you going, oh man, you ever anybody ask for your autograph?
Sometimes, yeah. A lot of my old soccer coach, he'll come up every year and he's like, I gotta get my signed cup from this year. And he collects one for every year.
That's cool.
And stuff. So it's more in fun. It's not nobody completely serious. Hey, can I get your autograph?
But at school, do the people come up and they're like, man, this is the coolest chick in school? Me and Raina were pretty giddy to be able to come in here and meet you guys today. And I just feel like if I'm a kid and I'm looking at you, I'm like, man, this is so cool. So
I think she's very humble about it, though. I will say that. Humble. And I think that's something that I'm proud of, is that I don't think sometimes she understands her notoriety and how, famous she is, but that's not a motivator for her at all. In fact, I think sometimes it makes her a little uncomfortable.
Sure.
But I do like that about her.
I think the reason why I was thinking about that is because my next question is that you're places like Kings Island, you're in fire departments, you're all over the place. This is all Payton's lemonade stand, and so it's really renowned. People know it, and now it's just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and you're just good old West Sider, just hanging out, be like, hey, how you doing?
Yeah,
I'm Payton.
life.
What's up?
Yeah, I know. This year it's crazy. We have Big B Coffee, Buskin Bakery is hosting at all of their stands. Fisher Homes.
Oh,
we have
who? Man.
But nursing homes,
yeah.
I got a picture the other day of 4 little residents. Not one of them is below the age of 90, and they're making their little lemonade posters for the event on July 26th.
What's Fisher doing? Are they putting it in every one of their models?
5 of
really?
them. 5 of their Kentucky models.
Just so you know, that's kind of, they've got 100. Let's step it up a little bit.
How many are you hosting at?
I don't have a model. I'm trying over here, okay?
I'm just trying to make you feel bad.
Thank you. You're doing a good job. I haven't done it enough today. So let's get back to talking about this money. We keep talking about money, even though it's not about the money.
I still don't fully understand the concept of money.
You need to get there.
Okay.
because you and my kids and my wife, we need to all start thinking about this money thing.
I just give it to my dad. My dad's our unofficial financial guy.
I do the same thing. I give it to my wife, and she's the financial person, so she takes care of it. I was thinking about people try to take their hobby and find something they love to do and turn it into something that they're going to do for a living. And you have taken making other people happy your happiness, and it's not about making money. It's not about making a living out of this, and that's incredible for somebody for your family, because I know it's you, but your name's on it. But you've got an incredible family that is supporting you.
Thank you.
And I think that to me, I don't know if I have a question, but I'm just pointing this out because I think it's amazing.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned that, because when I was talking to her about some of the topics that we were going to be discussing, and I asked her, I said, so what does success look like for you? Because it's not like we always sit down and talk about these things. So
right.
Sometimes it's a good opportunity. And I was expecting her to be like, when we made over $100,000 that year or whatever, but she looked at me dead in the eyes and she says, just to see the smiles on the kids' faces.
Yeah.
And I thought, how true that is. just to see
That is cool.
the kids that we're helping and to see their smiles, like that's success.
That's it. I mean, that's what I mean. I mean, that's the goal, and that's your direction, and it's just amazing you're one of the very few people I've ever met in my life that's really where it's at.
Thank you.
And that's neat.
It's the kids who receive what we're giving them, but it's also the kids at the stands. So like last night we had host pickup kits, and some of them were just so excited to like get their stuff. Like they were asking if they could help like hold stuff. And they were like, "Oh, I can't wait to host my stand."
Yeah. For many of them, it's their first lemonade stand.
Yeah.
And so they get to come and pick out their donation jar that's decorated. They get to pick out the posters and the sponsor banners and their own individualized flyer. And it's neat for us to see that excitement with them, to see them so excited, not only to host their lemonade stand, but even just looking at the bigger picture and just seeing all of these groups, all of these companies, all of these sports teams, these fire departments, these kids in their driveways are all coming together to give back to kids in the community who need it most.
I was thinking, I mean, you're changing the lives that you're changing of those kids who are standing in line to pick up their packets to go change other people's lives. You're giving them an opportunity to feel the same way you do.
The ripple effect.
Yeah.
It's also the kids who come up to the stand and they're like, just finished their football or cheer camp, and they like their smile once they get the lemonade, and then they take a sip, and it's just like, that's refreshing.
Yeah.
Or we say, once you get a cup of lemonade, we open up like our garage and we'll have like cookies in there, and bracelets and stuff. They're like, yummy cookies. So just like those smiles too, like just so cute.
So you're 100,000 in 23. You're 125,000 in 24, and when I mean you said when we passed that $100,000 mark, but I mean what was that feeling that you guys had where you're I mean you knew it a while ago. You're like, oh man, we're in it now. You're like $100,000. Now we're in it. This is really big. Again, I mean, what do you do? How do you're sitting here looking at this money and you're like, what do I do with this? Where do I go with it? And how do we divvy it up?
Yeah. We have been able to form so many partnerships with local organizations here who are doing absolutely amazing things, whose mission aligns with ours. They're also serving kids in need. So that's honestly been a really easy part of my job, is finding the need. I mean, there is no shortage of kids facing hardships in our community.
Oh, yeah.
And so we do help bigger organizations like Children's and Ronald McDonald House because, Children's is where it all started. And they are wonderful organizations who do wonderful things. But we also like to support those smaller organizations who might not have the budget for, as Children's has or Ronald McDonald. They might not have the platform, but that doesn't mean they're not doing really meaningful work.
Yeah.
And so I feel like when we are able to help support some of those smaller nonprofits, our impact is even bigger, for organizations like that. So that's what we really pride ourselves on too. We've been able to provide, brand new coats for organizations to give kids who are experiencing homelessness. And we're able to give, brand new socks and underwear and pajamas and book bags and journals for kids who are in foster care. We've been able to send groups of students in underfunded schools within CPS on memorable field trips. Because they should be afforded those experiences just like their peers, get to do. Every March, we provide hundreds of bathing suits, brand new bathing suits, sunscreen, flip-flops, goggles, beach towels, swim caps, all of that to kids so that they can go to the local CRC pool in the summer and swim, because we heard from a manager at CRC who she was almost in tears, saying that it just broke her heart that every summer there would be kids standing outside the fence, just watching all of the other kids swim. And it just, like, that really pulled at my heartstrings. Like, all of my childhood memories are at our local swim club, meeting up with my friends and my cousins and going swimming. And for these kids to have to stand outside the fence and watch their friends make those memories, and they couldn't because they didn't have a swimsuit.
Man.
And so we've been able to use our funding to stock these pools with brand new stuff. So now when kids show up, they don't have to stand outside the fence. They're welcomed in. And to hear the manager speak about their confidence when they step out of the bathroom in their brand new suit and just how much that means to them, that not only do they have a bathing suit, but it's brand new and it's theirs.
Yeah.
Like, they get to take it home. And so that is what, just hearing that feedback and seeing those pictures, that's what really motivates us to keep going.
That's amazing. I mean, I keep saying that. That's amazing. That's amazing. It's amazing. But it is all is just amazing to me because you hear people talk like they want to do stuff like this, or they, oh, that's a good idea, or here's what we should do, and you guys are doing it, and so I'm so happy. Have you ever had anybody come back to you and say, hey, you helped me, or hey, thank you, or anything like that? Have you ever had anybody that is it a really like a coming to truth moment for that?
Yeah, there's been a few families that we've helped that, like, there's this one family that they had a house fire, and their son was saved by one of the fire department, like the firefighters. And we, like, helped provide them, like, toys for birthdays and stuff like that while they were rebuilding their home. And so we meet up at the firehouse every once in a while, and we'll just have, like, a fun night where we'll have, like, chili or something, and then they have, like, basketball courts at the firehouse, like a basketball hoop, and we'll play basketball or something.
Yeah, so for a few of those instances, it's kids and families that we've helped who have, come out the other side, and now, they want to be a host, and they want to be able to help other kids and families who have, experienced hardships. So that's really been a cool thing to see too. Just to see them wanting to kind of, pay it forward.
To be a leader like this, whether you know it or not, you're leading, and you're leading people your age, you're leading people my age, you're leading people all over the place to have a better heart to do what you're doing, and it just amazes me that when we're sitting here talking, you're like, nah, I just want to get some lemonade made, and I want to get some donations going, and this ripple effect, like you said, is just it's really, really neat to see. So how do you were talking about this? I mean, how do you encourage other kids to get involved, and what's your message? I mean, what's your message to give back, or what's your message to people? What do you want it to be? What do you want it to say?
So that's funny you asked this, because every presentation that we give, we close on this message that I give. And it's that it only takes one person to make a difference, whether you know it or not. Like, I didn't know it was going to turn into this. I just wanted to host a lemonade stand. But it just, like, the persistence. And it only takes one person to make a big difference in life. And so you can be that person if you really put forth first step.
And they can watch you do it, and then they can watch your friends do it, and then next thing you know, you've got a bunch of people who are just killing it, like you're doing. So talking about sharing with our audience the community serving kids program that you guys launched last year, and we're going to share a link to YouTube on it on our podcast. But what is this? So this is something separate, right? Or not something separate, but something different.
Yeah, this is through our partnership with Matthew 25 Ministries, and this is where we had relationships with various food pantries in schools and local nonprofits in the community. And through Matthew 25 Ministries, we discovered that we were able to help them in a bigger way. And so what that has evolved into is us making monthly truckload donations to these organizations. And these donations are laundry detergent, cleaning supplies, batteries, paper towels, toilet paper, tissues, you name it. But we deliver these on a monthly basis, and then these, they're distributed to local kids and families. And so that, it frees up money in their budget. They're not spending so much at the grocery store because they're able to get paper towels and laundry detergent from us. And to date, so it's been a year and a half of making these deliveries, and we've delivered over $4 million worth of supplies to these local organizations.
Holy cow.
So it's been really impactful. And it's crazy because we'll get pictures. So on the day that the deliveries come, the organizer will get it all set up, and then they invite the kids or the families to come shop. And they'll send me pictures, and there's like lines just wrapped around the building, and the smiles and the excitement. I mean, it's so evident. You can see just how excited these people are just to come and pick up paper towels and, things that we all take for granted.
Yeah.
It means so much to them to just have access to those things at no cost.
Do you just drive around with like a case of tissues in your car? Because you seem like you handle it pretty well, but I can imagine when this gets pretty emotional on a daily basis, and you're just like, I don't know. And then you're on the phone with people and you're crying. You're like, yeah, okay, we'll just keep talking.
They're like, Jess is calling. I better get the tissues. No, it's just, I have a really cool job, and it's something that just kind of fell in my lap. I always tell people I had no idea I'd grow up to be selling lemonade. But I wish people could see what I see, and just how, I think for so many of us, we think those facing these kinds of circumstances and these kinds of hardships are farther away. And I think something that I've realized is that it's right here in our community. It's so close. It's a few streets over. And it really, it makes me feel good to know that I can, use the funds that we raise to make an impact here locally, for kids in our own community.
Yeah. What's your sister think about all this stuff? I mean, you have one sister, right?
Yes.
And I mean, does she feel just inadequate and walks around the house with her head down all the time and be like, I'm never going to be like Payton. This is horrible. And your parents are like pushing her off to the side all the time. Just go play with your toy. I mean, so it's got to be a...
When are you going to have a good idea?
Where's your lemonade?
My sister has a big heart too. She has a big heart for like homelessness. Yeah. So like every time we see somebody on the street, she's like, Mom, can we go to the store and get some like granola bars and some waters and stuff? And like her and her friends will do like little lemonade stands throughout the year, and they'll like sell like little bracelets too. And they're big horse lovers. Her and her friends all love horses. And so they'll give the money to like a horse camp for like underfunded kids so they can learn to ride horses.
Even the funded kids need money for those stupid horses. I'll tell you that, because they're way expensive. We're
Such
farmers.
An expensive
we know.
hobby. Yeah.
We're farmers. People with animals are dumb. We could be living on a houseboat somewhere and not have to take care of all this stuff. But that's really, I mean, that's again, when you lead that into animals and what makes people happy, and there's a whole nother sense that it happens there. Man, your sister is even...
she's as sweet as they come. She really is.
She's the world's sweetest assistant.
Huh. And she doesn't really prefer the spotlight. Not that Payton prefers it. I think Payton is just kind of used to it. But, I gave her the option to come today. I always invite her to be interviewed and, include her. But I kind of just let her, set the pace and, let it be her decision.
Yeah.
And I think we've done a nice job. She knows her role and she knows that it's important. And she knows that her role can be bigger or smaller at any point in time. It's just, she's younger too. But I don't want her to ever feel like this is forced on her when, but she's she's the one at the stand making all the friends with the adults and the kids, and
she's going to be president.
Yeah, she might be.
Yes. We have like a little dog fence that you can set up that we used for our dog when he was little, and she'll set that up and she's like, I'll watch your dogs while you walk around and talk to people and get some lemonade and some cookies so they don't eat all your lemonade. And whenever like somebody asks her about it, she's like, oh yeah, I'm the one that runs in. If somebody doesn't want lemonade, I'll run in and get them some water, or I'll show them around. Or that's like what she likes to do. She just likes to be able to be flexible. So she almost never stays put in one spot. She just kind of runs around, does her own thing, socializes like crazy. And she's just bristly, like she loves doing that kind of stuff.
Whenever you have a business, and whether your family realizes or not, it's a family business, because you all have to be vested into it. You all have to understand. You have to have a certain tolerance for everything and everybody. And so with all, it's four of you, right? I mean, your whole family has to be involved in this. Everybody has to be on the same page. And I just can't imagine having one person being like, nope, we don't want to do this anymore. And it just pulls the ship down. Everybody has to be on there. Yeah. What's that like? What's that atmosphere like?
In the beginning, it was a little tough, because to get your name out there, you have to be out there.
Yeah.
And so a lot of our free time on the weekends, we were invited to all these little festivals and all these little gatherings and things like that. And we felt like we had to, have a presence. And that got to be a lot. And it was a few years ago where, we started making a name for ourselves and realized that, we have to find this balance between this, organization and our own family time. And I think we've done a nice job of finding that balance of, attending things as a family, but also spending time outside of the organization as a family. And so far I think we have seemed to find our groove.
That's hard, because my wife is good at that, making sure that we are, because I think it goes from God to Wheel and Builders to family, and it's not like that. It goes and you got to make sure that you have somebody there saying, hey, we need to step back. We need to be our own family. We need to be not thinking about this all the time. So that's why I asked that question. I know how difficult that can be for you guys. So you're coming up on your 8th annual Payton's Lemonade Stand. And so what kind of goals do you have for this year?
We don't we always have a little bit of a goal in our head, but we don't always make a set in stone goal, because then if we don't reach it, we are like, oh, dang it.
We don't want to disappoint hundreds of kids.
Yeah.
We always just say we'd like to be the total that we raised last year.
Put more smiles on kids' faces.
Yeah.
So as long as we beat the year prior, we're happy.
What's good? What's going to be different this year than what you've had the last year? What can people expect? Your lemonade, your all these things. I know we've touched on so many different things, but is there anything that you haven't told me yet that's going to be happening?
Well, we joke that it's not Payton's Lemonade Stand; it's Payton's Carnival, because when you come to our house, we've got a big balloon house from Poppin' Balloon Art, and we've got.
We'll have a balloon artist this year.
We'll have a balloon artist. We always have a chalk artist, and we
different
have
families. They'll get bounce houses, or they'll get
DJs, and they'll have cookouts, and
stuff.
It's an experience.
So the whole neighborhood is
when you
vested
show up
at this point.
It's a block party,
man.
Yeah. So, and this year, with every year we have growth, but this year especially, there's so much more buy-in from local businesses. And so that's really cool because they have a whole reach in and of itself, rather than just a child who, with their neighborhood. This business has all of their, customers and employees and clients. And so that's been really cool to see a lot of them want to get involved, whether it's at our golf outing, whether it's hosting a stand during the holidays, if they host a lemon giving tree. There's so many ways for businesses to get involved all year round. And we've really seen an uptick with that.
That's good. How can people, so that leads us into how can people get involved? And I mean, do they call you? Do they go to the website? What are we going to do?
Most people contact us via the website or via social media. We have a really strong presence on social media. We have a girl that works for us that does a really nice job with that. And so a great way to stay in the loop and to see what opportunities are available is to follow us.
Yeah.
But like I mentioned, the big things that we do are the birthday bundles in March, the golf outing in May, the annual lemonade stand in July, and then around Christmas time, we do the lemon giving trees. And this past Christmas, we had over 40 businesses host lemon giving trees in like their foyer area. And we collected over $50,000 worth of gifts that were then, and we work off of wish lists. So I always want our giving to be very intentional. I don't want to just collect just to collect.
Yeah.
And then give these organizations a bunch of stuff that they really don't have a need or a use for. So we're very intentional. We work off a very specific list from each organization. And then we're able to gift those organizations all of these things from their wish list so that their kids and families that they support can have a really great holiday.
That's really neat, man. You're getting me choked up just sitting here listening to you because I want to put a tree in our lobby, but there's only like 3 people that come in and out here a day, and I'd be your first failure. So
you're striking out no model homes, no employees.
Thank God I know all these other people you're talking about. And we're going to be leaning on them.
To stand.
So yeah, I mean, I was thinking about that and how we can do that and making sure that if somebody sets up a stand,
yeah,
what are you guys doing to market their stand, or how does that work?
So we give them everything that they need. So we'll give them the cups, the lemonade, shirts, personalized flyers, and then they get to choose the location as long as it's not right next door to another stand.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll make their flyers so that way they can hand out their flyers in the area that they're doing it. And then every stand has a lemon on the map on our website. So there's this big map, and you can zoom into where you are. And then each lemon, if you tap on it, it pops up with the information for that one. If it were to be on a different day, it'll tell you if it's on a different day or a different time. And then it'll give you the address and the general area.
We make it very easy to host. We give you everything you need.
You've got one of the greatest marketing people in the history of mankind working with you. Does she have a lot of this? Does Nicole Lawrence have a lot to do with this stuff, where you're talking about, or is she just sitting there on the board because she knows you and she doesn't do anything? Because I think that's what she does.
Nicole does a lot
does
for
she?
Me. Yeah, she's great, and she's
probably the one that you can always count on to be there.
Yeah,
and yeah.
But she's got she's got to have all these really cool ideas and different things because she always did that.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
We have a lot of talented people who contribute to what we do. And my thing is that people aren't going to sign up to host if it's really cumbersome and if it's hard. And so we make it really easy. We give you everything you need. We even create your own flyer, give you 200 flyers. We put you on our website. We put you on social media. We try to get it out there as much as we can, but also some of that will fall on you because, obviously
I'd hope so.
in your community, on your community Facebook pages, to your friends and family. But you'd be surprised to see how well these stands do. I think part of that comes with just more and more people are familiar now with Payton's Lemonade Stand, and they know, that where the money is going. So maybe they feel more inclined to give. But these kids are going out in their driveways and raising $500, $600, $700 in a few hours.
Yeah.
And that really excites them.
I'll bet. I mean, do you ever have a problem collecting? I mean, you ever got to send Tommy Two Boots over there to go, grab something from some people because they're not giving it up? I mean,
No.
You don't?
No.
All right. Because I could be that guy for you if you want me to. I could put like a pinstripe suit on and be like, hey, I'm here for Payton.
I mean, sometimes it feels like,
Drag it out a little long.
a little much when you're dealing with over 100 people and you need something from each of them.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, most hosts are very easy to work with, and
They don't host a lemonade stand to cause trouble. They host a lemonade stand to give back.
Look at you.
They're not like, ooh, nonprofit. I'm going to cause them trouble. Yay.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
That's
wrong.
where my mind goes. Not on all of it, but on a lot of it. I mean, because there's, when you've been around a little while, you realize that there's some crooked people in this world. And
with the trust issues.
yeah, I do have trust issues. Thank you, Payton.
You're welcome.
If that's your real name. So who came up with, I want to know, we're talking about Nicole Lawrence. I want to know who came up with the word altruism on your website, because was that her? Because I just want to know who comes up with these words. Did you see that? Do you know what it means?
where is it?
It's on you. It's
Probably like ChatGPT or something.
It's on your values or your goals or something like that. And so I looked it up and I'm like, who is this smart person coming up with these words? It's just,
If Nicole wrote our website, we probably wouldn't be able to show it to minors. Sorry, Nicole, I love you if you're listening to this.
I hope she listens to this and she's like, I'm coming on his show. That's what we're going to do. I need to, now I'm looking through the website trying to find the word altruism.
I didn't even know that was a word.
Your goals are to teach children altruism and philanthropy.
I would have to assume generosity.
Did I look? I looked it up last night, and it's definitely generosity.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a zoology reference to it too that meant completely the opposite. And I'm like, I can't wait to tell you guys this. So congratulations. I mean, you are just a wonderful person, and both of you guys are. I mean, you've done I don't even know you, and I can tell that you've done such a wonderful job. It's tough. You're going to figure this out one day when you have kids that you feel like you're doing the best you can. And you're not sure if you're making the right decisions. And then you see your kids do the things that you're doing and you're like, oh, thank God, and it's just so neat to see. So thank you for being such a great person in this community, in this world. And you're awesome. Raina, do you have any questions?
Yeah, Raina, we want a question.
We want to hear from you. What, after listening to all this stuff? She's like, no, I do not. I do not have any questions. So your annual lemonade stand, Payton's Lemonade Stand, is coming up on July 28th, right?
26th.
26th. I thought you saw me write this down. Were you just thinking I was writing my birthday down or something?
No, I was like, I watched you write it, and I'm like, oh, I know that's the date, but what if it's not? Because you were looking at your computer thingy, and I'm like, what if he's in a conversation with somebody else right now? What if that's for something else?
Do you really think I'm sitting over here talking to somebody else while I'm listening to you talk? Oh my gosh.
My trust issues are starting to come out.
Thank you.
Being with you for too long.
Thank you. I'm glad I could help you. July 26th is the big day. We're going to raise hundreds of thousands of dollars, and we're going to give it all make right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
Lord
you're going to make kids happy.
Going through your mind.
You're going to make other people happy. I'm so excited to do that. I want to, I don't know, it's not July 26th, but I want to make sure that we give you our donation from Wheelan Builders to Payton's Lemonade Stand. I want to be more of a help. I want to make this the beginning, and I want to try and do some really cool creative stuff with you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
So really, that's just a down payment to get Nicole to come on to the website. But, I don't know. We talked about this before we got on the show, but the way I heard about you was from Ryan Murphy, who's a friend of mine, who's also our insurance guy who lives in your neighborhood, right? Oh, yeah. And he was just speaking so highly of you, and you've lived to the hype, both of you guys. So thank you, Raina. Did you have a question? You were like getting my attention.
Tapping him.
Afterwards, she says, okay. All right. She wants to go offline with her questions. What else? Do you guys have anything else to add? What else do you have to say?
This like popped into my mind like halfway through the show. I remember there's something funny that happened before all the lemonade stuff that we realized a few years ago. Before all the lemonade stands, we were getting like new windows or something. And
I'll tell the story because you're already wrong.
we were looking for windows.
She goes,
It was not windows. It was before we even had kids. So this was pre-Payton, and we had water in our basement. And we had a company come out.
How'd I get windows from that?
And give us an estimate. And it was a $19,000 estimate to fix this issue. And so I went to Facebook and said that we got this estimate from this company and that I foresee a lot of lemonade stands in my future.
really?
Yeah. And so it's so bizarre that I would
That
have
is
even said that.
Way crazy.
But here I am hosting
you
lemonade
are.
stands for
Still
a
trying to
living.
pay that basement off. It's
We ended up getting it fixed for $1,200. Imagine that. But
Imagine that.
But yeah.
Okay.
Is that the story you were going for?
Yeah, I don't know
The
how I got windows.
and the
I could have
tires.
sworn it was windows.
Yeah.
windows.
That's a good, man, isn't that creepy how things like that happen?
No.
Yeah.
And I didn't even remember that until I have, Time Hop on my phone. And Time Hop came up I guess it was about 3 years ago. And I was like, oh, that was really creepy.
Yeah, that's amazing. So what do you want to be when you grow up? Do you want to continue to do this, or do you think you want to be something else?
I definitely will continue to do this, but hopefully it'll be bigger. Obviously, when it's keep growing, so I'll probably have it'll be more stable. Not that it's unstable now, but we'll have more employees, just things like that. I want to be a speech and language pathologist.
Okay.
I remember thinking my sister always mispronounced milk. She would always say nilk, yet she could say every other M word perfectly fine. And they took her to a speech therapist, and after a few visits, she would say milk. And I'm my 6-year-old brain's oh my God, they did magic. I want to do magic. And I just kind of kept that in the back of my head. And then 5th grade rolls around, and I have to do this project for math on my dream job and then how it involves math. And I had literally no idea what I was going to do. And I'm oh, what if I do a speech and language pathologist?
So you don't need math.
Yeah.
So you're good.
Well, I do. Almost every job involves math. But I started doing more research on it because I had to do research because I literally had no idea what I was getting myself into. And I just kind of fell in love with it. It was the weirdest thing ever.
Does Ohio State offer that program? I can't remember.
I won't be going to Ohio State.
I thought you said you were.
No.
You said you were on my side.
No, I said I like Michigan.
You are not on Ohio State's side.
I was on Ohio State's side. I'm just not giving them money for alumni. I already gave them enough money.
You kind of sounded like you
I was
were on
wondering
their
why
side.
you were saying that when we walked in the door.
Go back and listen to the podcast.
I guess I'll have to listen to a podcast.
You were I had a backpack, if that makes me a fan.
Yeah, you're right. I can see how that could
He's
come
ready
off
to get
that
done
way.
with
Now he's got the trust issues. I went to Ohio State, but I don't everybody. As soon as you say
You
Ohio
said you
State,
went to a campus off of Ohio
I
State.
did. I was at
Ohio
the agriculture, but nobody says, "Oh my gosh, what did you get? What kind of education did you get, or what did you go there for?" The first thing they say is, I bet you love Ohio State football games, and I bet you went to a ton of football games. And I'm I've never been.
What'd you go there for?
I have a degree. I have 2 associate's degrees, one in animal science and one in construction technology.
Animal science?
Yes,
He's a
we're
farmer.
farmers. Yeah,
Do you
I
have
breed
horses?
cows. We have cows. Yep.
No horses.
No horses, and every
Do you ride the cows?
no, we show them. So Raina and Cody have. We were talking about the Warren County Fair coming up, and Raina and Cody both have. Raina's got 2 rabbits and a little calf that she's taking, and Cody's got 2 big steers and another female that he's taking up there. Heifer. That he's
So
taking
you'll
up there.
show them at the fair?
Yep.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah.
You get to ride them.
You could. It's just not going to turn out well for either one of you, I don't think. I don't think
Full body cast.
I always wanted. Every once in a while, I'm like, I think I want a horse. I think I want a horse. And
I think you want a horse.
I talk to people who have horses, and they're like, you don't want a horse.
Why?
I have a different way to describe. A couple of guys told me how to describe it. I don't want to describe it to you guys. It's different. He's like, my one buddy goes, what you could do is just take your whole family downtown Cincinnati and find a local crack dealer and get your whole family hooked on crack. And when you're done with that whole experience, you'll have more money and your body will be in better shape than you will if you buy a horse. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to buy a horse.
Point taken.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see what this world has in store for you and what you have in store for the world, for both of you guys. And, Wheelin' Builders is a fan, and we're here to support you. And I am so grateful for Ryan introducing us and just for me to be able to get to meet you guys today. This is just a highlight. So thank you so much for all you're doing. And thanks for taking time out of your day for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. This is Payton's Lemonade Stand here on the WB Download.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you.
Well, there you have it, folks. Like I said, what an incredible interview. What incredible people and the things that they're doing and the people that it's surrounded by. I just started talking about this, and then on the next thing you know, I know a few people that work with them who are fabulous people, and it just goes from there. So we were looking at this thing going, man, how do we get involved with this? And so we've got our futures sights set on this to work with Payton and Jess in the future to be able to have Wheelin' Builders do some partnerships with them guys and keep doing good things in this world. I hope that this has inspired you. I hope that you guys have listened to this and anywhere around the country, and you guys start reaching out to Payton to say, hey, I want to set up a lemonade stand, and I want to take this money and I want to donate it back to you so you can do good things for kids. It's just great. Like I said during the interview that, so many people say, how do you take your hobby and turn it into your living so you can love what you do? Her hobby is since a young age is to make somebody else happy, to ease somebody else's pain, to do good things for somebody else all the time. And just at such a young age, just think what this kid's going to be doing when she's older. I'm going to keep my eye on her because I think that she needs a job here at Wheelin' Builders. So open invitation there, Payton. Thank you again, Jess and Payton, for coming on here. Jess, thank you for raising such a wonderful kid and doing great things out there. You guys, your whole family are just incredible. So everybody, thank you for listening to the WB Download once again. Thanks for, just all the time tuning in for the third year in a row. I hope everybody's enjoying this, and I hope you enjoy pop-ups like this one with Payton that doesn't have anything to do with building and has everything to do with life. Don't forget the next episode on this show. I shouldn't say don't forget, but the next episode on this show will be Pam Carr from KBR, which is a cabinet company and a countertop company that we use here at Wheelin' Builders. And I've known Pam for a long time, so it'll be nice to listen to what she has to say about the cabinet business. And don't forget to subscribe to the WB Download on your favorite podcast service. Don't forget to check us out on YouTube to see all the behind the scenes stuff and a couple different videos. Check us out on our homepage to be able to see different tidbits about Payton and pictures of different things that we have going on. And don't forget that we drop on the second and fourth Tuesdays every month. And if you want to be a part of the conversation, which I've just, started talking to people here lately and saying, hey, why don't you come on the show? I used to be kind of like, what are we going to talk about? And I'm like, hey, why don't you come on the show? Let's talk. That's what we're supposed to be doing here is talking, learning about people and learning about what they do, and hopefully inspiring everybody out there to think about something different or to do something or to build a house. Let's do it. Or to build a better house for other people listening. If you want more behind the scenes of our podcast and to learn more about Wheelin' Builders, an award-winning custom home builder, go to our website, wheelinbuilders.com. Reach out to me at wbdownload@wheelinbuilders.com. And that's WIELAND. Everyone, thank you again for listening, and have a good rest of the July, and we'll catch you in a couple weeks. I'm Jeff Whelan here on WB Download.